Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. We're going to have a great show today. My guest, Dr. Bob Taylor from Lonetree, Wyoming, and we're going to talk today about what he does in production of organic beef. It's really an incredible story and the journey that's taken him to organic beef production. I think you're going to learn a lot. Thanks for joining us here today on DocTalk.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Bob Taylor, and it's a pleasure to have Dr. Taylor here on the show from Wyoming. Formerly Colorado, spent a lot of time in that Front Range and different areas. Beautiful part of the country. He's a veterinarian that's doing some pretty special things with beef production, and I thought it'd be great to have him on the show, kind of share your story and talk to people about organic beef production.
Good. Well, thank you, Dan. I enjoy being here. Look forward to having a minute to maybe visit a little bit. We're in Southwest Wyoming. My family and I, we raise and produce organic beef cattle. And one thing I wanted to mention for sure is that we're not elitist. We think we're just fulfilling a small niche in the demand for beef cattle in this country. And we've enjoyed it. It's been a transformative process. We've been at it now for almost 10 years. And every day we learn something, I think, that makes it more unique or more challenging as we go along.
Yeah, and I think that it's important for people to understand that it's important that we fill all the different niches within the beef industry, because if we don't, they'll go eat chicken.
That's exactly right. Or they'll buy their organic meat from Australia or somewhere else. And so it's important that we have a presence in this country, I believe, because there is a need and there's an ongoing demand for that kind of product.
Tell me how you got started.
Well, really it was my daughter, who I say is the brains of the operation, convinced me about 5 years ago that it's something that we should look at. We're about sustainability and trying to create a lasting legacy in the ranching business with our family, and we were stimulated by the increase in value that you can demand from an organic product. And so that's really what triggered our immersion into the organic industry.
So you were looking at that sale price of the final product.
Yes, we were.
And
you know that, as you know, being in the cattle business, it waxes and wanes over time. But we were captured by the higher premium that you can demand if you're all organic.
Yeah, and I think that you know, obviously you've been through different trials and tribulations. Are the costs a lot more, or I mean, those types of things as well?
Well, the costs are greater, and one of the things that we've yet to talk about is just animal health and disease prevention. And so I said earlier, if it's made and it's a vaccine, we're probably going to get approval to use it, because it's really about maintaining optimum health. So we figure somewhere around 20% additional cost in producing an organic animal. Part of that is all of the ground and the hay that the cows eat has to be produced organically, and then we've got to maintain our organic certification, and then the health matters are really important. And so that all comes to about a 20% increase, I think, in the cost of producing a pound of beef.
Well, it's outstanding. This is going to be a lot of fun, folks, for us to watch together and visit with Dr. Bob Taylor. We're going to take a break, and when we come back from the commercial break, we're going to talk a little bit more with Dr. Taylor about some of the things that they're doing to maximize health in their cow herd. We'll talk about other things such as labeling and things that are associated with organic, questions that you've probably had and never got the answer from. Dr. Bob Taylor, more after these messages.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
This Prevention Works Minute, brought to you by Beringer Engelheim Vet Medica, Inc.
Hey folks, Dr. Dan here. Thanks for joining me on our Prevention Works Minute. When we start to think about preventing disease, a lot of times we think about the reason why animals get sick, either an overwhelming dose of a pathogen or a suppressed immune system. When we have a suppressed immune system, most of the time that's due to stress. And one of the things that I really focus on with our feedlot crews and stocker crews is low stress cattle handling. I think it's vitally important that cattle are handled and acclimated in a sense that we make sure that we do not increase the level of stress when we're handling. Make sure that they're exposed to you before you ship those animals, making sure that they understand the commands and that they're acclimated, so that when we ship calves to the feedlot or when we bring calves off the truck at the feedlot, we're practicing good low-stress cattle handling. Will increase the immune response because we decrease the amount of stress that we see in those calves. And we all know that prevention works.
This segment brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with my friend and colleague, Dr. Bob Taylor. And we've been talking about organic beef production. And I think the one thing that you'll find pretty quick is Dr. Taylor is a very humble man that is here to share with us about something that he has enjoyed doing and that he enjoys producing, working with his cattle. The challenges of producing organically raised beef are things that he's taking on, and he's doing it in a manner in which I think everybody should handle their day-to-day business. It's not we're better than you, we're just different. And we're moving forward, and we're all, for me, if you're in the beef industry, I'm for you. You know, and we want everybody to be successful. Yep. And so talk to me a little bit about what are some of the differences you see in an organic herd production-wise that you guys are?
Well, I think one of the things in both being veterinarians, you know, we were trained to keep animals healthy. And so for us, it's extremely important that happen, because if a calf, for example, develops diarrhea as an infant and we end up having to give them an antibiotic, they're immediately excluded from the organic program. And so it's really about maintaining optimum health, which you and I both enjoy because
Absolutely.
That's the way we were trained. You know, we begin literally the day that the calf is born. We go out and we'll ear tag the calf. We can vaccinate them at that point or give them a toxoid for some of the problems that we have in southwest Wyoming. And then that calf then is tagged back to the mother with the birth date so that we can verify in her gestation period when that calf was born. And it just follows through all the way through their production life, that we're very aware of what they eat, but we're also aware of any disease risk or possibilities. And so we're prudent about the use of vaccine. We believe in the vaccination products. We're using some new things like Amplimmune and Zelnate as immune stimulants, if you will, in an effort to not use antibiotics. I'm a big user of activated charcoal for diarrhea in young calves, and it works great. And it's a very safe product, but it's stuff like that we use in an effort to keep them organically certified.
Cool. So when you're saying that, you know, obviously you're using some things that might be some oldies but goodies.
Exactly.
You know, and going back to, you know, my granddad, as you and I discussed before the show, is, you know, I'm a third generation veterinarian, and back in 1938 he didn't have some of these tools.
That's right.
But some of the tools you're bringing back, like activated charcoal and things like that, he dang sure did, and he utilized them.
That's exactly right. And you know, yogurt is the other thing, because in these calves, when they develop really bad E. coli diarrhea or whatever, reestablishing that gut flora with some good old-fashioned yogurt or cow's milk is pretty darn good. So yeah.
What are some of the things you see in the cows? That would be some of just thinking some of the general things that maybe we wouldn't think that are some of maybe there's not. Maybe it's more of a calf oriented.
Well, you know, I mean, really, calf health begins with cow health, and so if you have a healthy cow, she's going to probably have a healthy calf. We're pretty committed that if a cow doesn't bring a calf to branding, she's probably not going to be with us the next year.
Gotcha.
So we want a mid-frame cow that's a dang good mother that's going to mother that calf and help it grow.
Cool. Let's take a break. Folks, when we come back, more with Dr. Bob Taylor on organic beef ranching in Wyoming.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Healthy cows start with the new hired hand automatic livestock sprayer. Rancher invented to provide an efficient alternative to pour-on and injectable parasite management systems. The portable design allows cattle to treat themselves head to hoof. Strategic device placement with pass-through activation technology takes the stress out of parasite treatment for cattle and the rancher, leaving more time to tend to other vital tasks on the farm. To learn more, visit cowsprayer.com. The new hired hand makes healthy cows easy.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Person who's involved in ag production, cattle ranching, Bill Rischel here in North Platte, told me about Kansas Regenerative Medicine. And after talking to Dr. Pope, we did a lot of reading and researching, looking on the internet about it. I guess the thing that impressed me is that he told me, he said, if we don't think it's going to help you, we're not going to do it. I thought that was a very good approach. I'm a former athlete, played college basketball, played overseas after college, had some severe trauma on the right ankle, right knee, joint in my hand also. This brace is what I had to wear all the time. Now I don't wear this during the day. That's a real improvement for me. My knee doesn't bother me. This joint came around quick. It was the first thing I noticed improving. You can see in the background here there's different fish and game that I hunt. Ability to walk was impacting my outdoor endeavors. I think it's really valuable, and encourage anybody that's interested to go down and at least do a consultation with them.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
We do business with Blueville because of the quality of their work. It is excellent quality, and because they make a commitment to their customers.
We enjoy the benefits of hiring a good company to help us maintain this home.
We will always do business with Blueville. We have for many, many years, and there's no reason for us to look for any other service.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson and Dr. Bob Taylor here. We're talking about the niche market of organic beef production here in the United States, which is an important niche for the beef industry. And we keep reminding ourselves, it's not an elitist attitude. It's just another way to raise beef and another way to raise cattle and to keep people engaged in our industry. You know, I think some of the things that you've explained to me have been very, very interesting, especially when it comes to labeling. Because everybody sees all natural, no antibiotics, just something slapped on there, gluten-free.
Right.
And, you know, it just gets to that point where you're just kind of bombarded. So talk to me about what is kind of an official label or how those come about.
Well, I think the first thing is for every consumer to understand there's so much false information out there. And as you said, slapping a label on something, many times that will suffice for the mom or the husband who's going in and buying a product. But as you know from being a scientist, that really it's based on fact and truth. And so, and hopefully this will change over time so that if we say, for example, antibiotic-free or grass-finished or no non-ever has some meat, okay? In the organic industry, there's a lot of meat because there are federal standards that are handed down to the organic producer, and then we get to pay for the privilege of having an independent inspector come out, and they'll call today, say, hey, we're in the neighborhood, can we come tomorrow? Well, sure, we'd love to have you. And so they really do hold your feet to the fire in terms of what that organic label needs. And if we're going to continue with the labeling business in the American cattle industry, those other labels need to have the same kind of scrutiny and reliability and proof that it's happening.
Yeah, I think it's important for the longevity of the label.
Exactly.
Because the last thing you want to do is have false representation that draws all labels down.
That's right.
And so I used to be the opposite. I used to sit there and say, why do we have to do all this?
Right.
Don't they trust us? And,
That's right.
and things to that nature. But it really gets back to, if I'm a person that's producing organic beef, although I know you say in jest that you get to pay the privilege of
Yeah.
it is about brand integrity and holding people's feet to the fire so that you can propagate it.
The other thing that I think is important is that not just for organic, but for every part of the meat industry, is that it's got to be something that you'd serve your grandmother or your children. And we've got to have that confidence, and the consumer's got to have that confidence that that's what we're doing. And I think that's really extremely important for our future as we go forward.
Yeah, and regardless of whether it's conventional or natural, organic, whatever type of beef, if we have a downfall in one area, it's a downfall for all.
Absolutely. No, it affects all of us. Exactly.
And I see things such as, mishandling of antibiotics and different things to that nature, and it really gets back to preventative medicine, biosecurity.
Yes.
Whenever even in a conventional herd, if I use an antibiotic, I feel like a failure.
Well, as veterinarians, we do feel that way because we went to school to learn to maintain health, and that's our mantra, that's our gold standard. Yeah, so for sure.
You got it. All right, folks. Thanks for watching Doc Talk. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back with a wrap-up with Dr. Bob Taylor.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Did you know long-range planning through the checkoff can help keep your business profitable? To successfully pass on cattle operations from one generation to the next, it's important to promote beef and keep farms and ranches profitable. Your beef checkoff helps do that.
I'm Jeff Mingus. I'm from southeast Arizona, where we have a family cattle ranch. I've been in the cattle business my entire life. I can remember the onset of the checkoff program, and when the Beef Council decided to use checkoff dollars to create additional demand for the chuck and the round. And I think that created a significant increase in the price of our product, and I think the beef checkoff has been beneficial for our operation.
So we moved to an area on a national backcountry byway, and because of that there's a lot of tourists and they'll stop in sometimes, and we've had a lot of people come out to the ranch. So we take that as a real opportunity to educate people about the beef industry. So we built this catering business when I retired a few years ago. I've used beef checkoff recipes over the last 20 years, but when you're really producing that for the public, it takes on a whole new meaning.
As a young rancher, there was a lot for me to learn when I came back to the ranch.
I feel as if the beef checkoff gave me additional tools I needed. The beef quality assurance program has helped teach me how to handle cattle in a more effective manner, a way that's the most beneficial to the cow and the most efficient for the producer.
And I'm really proud to be able to say that the beef industry is reaching out to the consumer. I have this one on my website, Gazpacho steak salad. It's very popular. And this is one that millennials like because it's quick, it's fast, and they don't have a lot of time to prepare. And this one has been really popular with men because you ask them, do you like to grill? And of course they say yes, and say, well, here's just a couple of recipes, and they grab them.
We feel really blessed that we have one of our sons, Ben, wanting to carry on the ranching tradition, so he'll be a 5th generation cattle rancher in my family.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook or Twitter.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson and Dr. Bob Taylor. I'm from Kansas State University. Dr. Taylor is from, is it Lonetree, Wyoming?
Lonetree, Wyoming.
Yeah, and he's out in southwest Wyoming, veterinarian and beef producer. And you know, we talk about the labeling, we talk about, and it gets back to that consumer education. It gets back to, you know, how do you, I don't think people realize that you have the same marketing competition and pressures that a lot of people that the big feedlots and things like that have.
Oh my goodness gracious. I think understanding the dynamics and the economics of the cattle industry is a life quest. And we face the same competitive pressures that you do if you were still down at Cactus. There's fluctuation in availability of pasture, there's fluctuation in demand. We have a lot of foreign competition, and some of the big retailers, if they can buy a pound of American organic versus another country's organic beef, they're going to go where the money is.
Yep.
And it harkens back to what we talked about earlier, in that, in my opinion, the American beef industry is the leader in terms of quality and health. And we need to understand that to produce this kind of beef, it's costly, whether it's conventional or if it's organic or whatever it is. If the consumer wants a really good quality product that they can feed their children and know that their kids are getting the protein that they need, it's costly. And none of us are driving our first Mercedes. We're all hardworking, but we want that story, those people, our customers, to understand that. Because every year I spend a lot of sleepless nights thinking about how we're going to market these cattle and who's going to buy them. We've spent all year growing these babies, and now it's time for them to go somewhere else. Who wants to buy them, and how can we sell them such that we can continue to do the same thing the next year?
And that gets back to, we have to market our quality in this industry.
That's right. I think the mantra of buying beef by the pound is wrong. It should be based on the quality. Now, we know there are a lot of quality grades that are out there, but it's based on the quality of the animal and the carcass and the way they were raised that I think is important.
Yep, and the eating experience and the whole 9 yards. Well, it's been absolutely great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. Well, I sure enjoyed it. It's fun to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Okay.
Folks, thank you for watching DocTalk. We appreciate what you do. Remember, always work with your local veterinarian, and if you want to know more about what we do on the show, you can find us at www.doctalktv.com. Thanks for watching DocTalk. Here with Dr. Bob Taylor, I'm Dr. Dan Thompson, and I'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.